Well, hello, stranger.
This totally feels like a dream.
That has got to be the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Just for that, I'm gonna get you some coffee.
I can get it.
Oh, I know how you like it. Like your women. Full of liquor.
Actually, I like my coffee like my heart.
Black?
Oh, I can hold it all right. It's just when I drink it, I get really drunk really fast.
Is that blood?
Ow!
Oh, hush. Been out picking fights again?
I don't know what happened, but you look pretty incredible in a nurse's outfit.
You do, huh? You in the mood for a little role-playing? Who do you think you are? Mr. Tall, blonde, and bloodied.
You seem to know who I am. Who are you?
I'm Taylor, and I'll be your nurse. I recommend 2 aspirin and lots of bed rest. Maybe all afternoon long.
You know, it's so weird because it's almost like we already know each other.
Now you're getting it. Now if I can just teach you to start calling me. Oh, geez, I'm late. I got a new extension at work. I'll send it to your smart Alex. Please, go see Dr. Donahue at the North Hill Clinic. Call me after and tell me what she says about that noggin of yours. See you, Uncle Louie.
See you, Taylor. Mr. Murphy, what are you doing here?
Hey, tell me who that woman was who just left here. And why does she act like she knows me?
Why you gotta be like that? You know Taylor. A little too well, you ask me. You drunk again? I told you, you ain't allowed in here. You've been drinking.
I am stone cold sober. Other than my head, I feel totally normal. It's everything else that's weird.
What happened to your head?
I don't know. I woke up on the fire escape. I go into my apartment and everything is different. The street, Chelsea's newsstand, you, everything is completely different. I mean, I don't know whether I'm tripping here or having a bad dream or something.
What's the last thing you remember before you woke up?
I don't know, but something with Chelsea.
Chelsea? What day do you think it is? No, hold on. What year do you think it is?
What year? Are you serious? It's 2043.
Oh, jeez. Look at that calendar. Over there, on the fridge.
2050. What the hell's going on here? Last night, Chelsea and I went to the Golden Pagoda. I think the wording was very, very attractive.
Oh, no!
What? It's me.
Look, somebody has stolen our car. I mean, here I am, my speeder's stolen out here. I'm sitting on a great... God, that was hot!
Oi! Would you guys like...
Your niece, Taylor, she said something about a doctor at the North Hill Clinic?
Ah, Kate Donahue. She's a friend of Taylor's. She's real good. I'll bet she could fix you up.
So, what about this woman, Taylor? I mean, she seems to know me pretty well.
That ain't none of our business, Mike. I never thought you was the right guy for her. But two adults can do what they want to do. Murph, you really need to see a doctor. You can't be driving in this condition. Tell you what, I'll call you a cab. I'll have them wait till you're ready to go.
Didn't take you long to get in trouble, did it? You here to turn yourself in?
Well, first of all, no. And second of all, Danwich, you know me. You didn't have to send your goons down to get me. If you wanted me to come down, just ask me.
I'm surprised you remember me.
I may not have told anyone this before, but you're actually my favorite patrolman.
In case you didn't get the memo, I head up the department now. And things aren't as loosey-goosey as they were under Malden.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Malden did like his goosies a little loosey. So why is it you think I came down here to turn myself in?
Well, we just found you at a crime scene with a dead body. That dead body happens to be Carlos Maldonado, a PI working the same neighborhood as you. Is that your way of intimidating the competition?
Seems a little extreme to me. Flyers and discount coupons have always worked much better for me.
I was just reviewing your file when you came in.
Is that a lot? Because it looks like a lot.
August 2047. Beek Nariz, NSFPD informant. Beaten and hospitalized after providing information about Tex Murphy. Nariz refuses to identify his assailant. No charges ever filed. November 2048. Surveillance video shows suspected extortionist Jen Lee leaving the Golden Pagoda with Tex Murphy, never to be seen again. The case remains unsolved. Shall I go on? In the past few years, you've gained quite a reputation for yourself. You've got New San Francisco's criminal underbelly running scared.
I can honestly say that I have absolutely no memory of any of these crimes. I mean, I'll take a polygraph test if you want.
We arrest criminals so they could be tried in a court of law. We don't just kill them, and I won't tolerate vigilantism. If you didn't kill Maldonado, what were you doing then?
I just found out he was spying on me. I followed the trail and saw that Maldonado had surveillance equipment aimed at my office. I want to find out what he recorded.
Who cares what he recorded? If you're such an upstanding citizen, you've got nothing to hide, right?
I wanted to find out whether he caught me scrapbooking. If that gets out, I'm through in this town.
I don't even think you're joking about that. You're free to go, Murphy. For now. Any questions?
Hey, cowboy. Any memories coming back yet?
Not so far, but something tells me I might be missing out on some really good ones.
That's solid detective work.
So... were we dating?
Dating? Oh, that's so cute. I guess you can call it that. But we were also working together in a more professional capacity.
Well, now my detective skills are picking up a little sarcasm.
Seriously, cowboy, you're good. I've learned a lot working with you the past couple weeks.
Let me get this straight. You and I were working on a case together? Do you mind telling me about that?
Not at all. You wanted a list of tenants here at the Ritz as far back as I could go.
Why would I do that?
It was your dreams. They were vivid before, but they were getting out of control. It's almost like they were changing you into someone else. You talked about seeing things from the past, but you wouldn't give me details. You were incredibly stressed. was like you actually believed this apartment was haunted. You even started looking into psychometry.
Psycho what?
Psychometry. It's the belief that an object can contain a person's energy or memories.
So, not only am I an amnesiac, but I'm a paranormal idiot.
Great.
Sounds crazy, I know. But then we found out about Donnelly.
Who?
J.T. Donnelly. It was the most bizarre thing. I'd heard you mention the name in your sleep. But then, his name turned up when I checked out the previous tenants.
So who is this guy?
He's a private investigator, a real old school brute. He worked for some powerful, influential people, but then he disappeared around 1943. His last known address was here.
San Francisco.
No, here, at the Ritz in this exact apartment.
Okay, that's a little bizarre.
It gets bizarrier. You called me one night, raving like a lunatic, saying the walls were talking. I rushed over and found holes smashed in the wall, and you curled up on the floor in a ball.
Well, I'm glad to hear I haven't changed that much.
You wouldn't tell me what had happened. But after that, you wouldn't sleep here. That's when you got your new place and started to sleep there.
Hold on. I have another place?
Yes, you do. And it's even nicer than here.
This is all crazy. I think I'm gonna sleep here tonight just to see whether it affects me in the same way.
Do you want some company?
Listen, Taylor, I'm beginning to see what the other me saw in you. But in my head, it's still 2043. I've got to tell you, there was somebody else.
Chelsea, I know. I know how much she meant to you, Tex. Losing her was traumatic as hell for you. But she's gone. And there's nothing you can say or do or don't do that's gonna bring her back. Do you feel that?
I sure do.
I'm alive. And that's my heart. It's yours if you want it. And it comes with all the other bits.
Well, I think it's time for the big sleepover. I'll make popcorn.
And I'll pitch the tent.
Six hours later, the rain was finally letting up. Somebody once said, you can't change the past, only the course you're on. And that's what I intend to do. It's time for me to take my ship in a new direction. Being with Taylor last night felt comfortable. She accepted me as I am. Maybe I ought to accept myself in the same way. Still, I know I'm in the middle of something sinister, and I've got to deal with it. I've got to find a way to get my recent memory back. Then I can go forward and start a new day. As Taylor was leaving, she slips me a key to a place called the Resort, and said it might provide some insights about myself over the last few years. She wasn't kidding. Nitro case shattered? By Tex Murphy? When did I become an attention seeker? These watches are worth a small fortune. I'm hoping this newspaper article is not some sentimental keepsake. Looks like I like to wear sunglasses at night. Well, that is an intimidating knife. When I think of women in my past who were black book quality, Regan Madsen from my Pandora case always comes to mind. Well, I suppose you've already sat in my chair and have eaten my porridge, too.
Took you long. I thought I was gonna have to stir it in by myself. I hope you don't mind I made myself comfortable. And I'm very comfortable.
Yeah. You look it.
How long does it take you to smoke that cigarette?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
She was vicious, mean, nasty, and rotten to the core. And I still think fondly of her almost every day. Maybe I should go get checked out at a medical clinic for reasons other than my head injury. Some lady gave me her phone number? I'm not used to that. Real brass knuckles. That's a big departure from my non-lethal weapons collection. Black leather gloves? Wait a second. I'm pen pals with Big Jim Slade? I don't think I like what I'm discovering about the last 7 years. She's doing this to get through school. Where did I get this kind of money? Did I really turn into a gun-for-hire mercenary that everybody's afraid of?
There's something about this setup that just feels wrong. Like advanced mind manipulation. This place is littered with items to make you think you're someone you're not. We already know they injected you with a trance inducer. They're pulling the strings to deceive you into doing something for them.
I'm hoping this isn't mine. After visiting with St. Germain, the former Mrs. Bowers invites me to a place called the Resort and says she has information to exchange.
Well, well. If it isn't Dudley Do-Right. Caught me red-handed.
And if it isn't Natasha Vitale, you and Boris Barinov have certainly pulled a fast one on me.
St. Germain isn't part of this. He's a collector looking for the Fabergé egg. I'm an agent looking to infiltrate the translator.
Yeah, and I'm an accountant.
No, I really am. The organization I work for, You couldn't pronounce it, but in English it's called the White Guard. We've been monitoring the translator for years. We've had our eye on you as well. So are you going to interrogate me? I have so much to confess.
Why are you acting like I'm even slightly in control of this situation?
I'll be honest with you. I need your help, Tex. And I can help you, but I had to find out where your loyalties were.
Really? Well, what about me? When do I find out about you and where your loyalties lie?
That's why we're here, together, alone. I hope you don't mind I took the liberty of ordering some food. Should be here any minute. I thought we could have a bite, get to know each other a little better.
Set the spider to the fly.
I told you, Tex, I've had my eye on you for a while. And as you know, I'm not married. Who knows what lies ahead?
What lies ahead? That may be the truest thing you've ever said to me.
It's a rough world out there. Any of us could be dead tomorrow. I live in the moment. And right now, I want that moment to be with you.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. So full of possibilities. Is there a more intriguing or enticing word?
Perhaps.
Must be the food. Do you mind getting it while I change?
Perhaps.
Hey, cowboy. I was hoping I'd find you here.
Wow. Perfect timing.
What is it?
Come on in.
Is something wrong?
Okay. There's a woman in my bathroom.
Oh. Why is there a woman in your bathroom?
Ready to eat?
Well, I guess you can ask her yourself.
I'm famished.
This isn't the way it looks, because this looks really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, is this her?
This is Taylor. We're getting back together.
Who was that?
Who knows? She said she was Mason Bauer's wife, but she wasn't.
Interesting outfit.
I think she may have been trying to seduce me.
And why did she slap you?
Well, obviously, she didn't succeed.
I'm glad. So what do you want to do now?
Well, we have food coming and wine chilling.
Oh, I've got a lot of catching up to do. Sounds like a perfect way to start.
Taylor's something special, and I don't want to lose her. There's a magic she has. She's so accepting, and she puts me at ease. I used to believe Chelsea was the perfect one for me, but time and circumstances change, even if you don't want them to. As hard as you try, you can't go home again. Me and Taylor head back to my office on Chandler, where she insists on being brought up to speed on the case.
That's good.
It's horrible what happened to Mason. And this is gonna sound terrible, but now he's gone, how are we ever gonna get your memory back?
Well, something tells me my memory may end up being the least of our worries here.
So if I've got this right, Dalton got Mason to thaw out Joe Hansen, who came back after 30 years with a few screws loose, calling himself the translator. And now he's building something called the Immortal Coil, which requires the spirit radio and the Tesla's egg, whatever that is. Do you really believe all that stuff about the radio and being able to contact this woman?
I don't know. You told me yesterday that Charles Johansson could come back from the dead. I wouldn't have believed that either, except I saw him with my own eyes. This is worth a try. I just need to find out what Margaret did with the egg.
Maybe you can pick her brain. Sorry, that's mean.
Who knows? Maybe that's why they cut off her head. I mean, Maldonado and Bowers both died protecting it, keeping it away from the translator, so maybe there's a way to tap into Margaret's memories directly from her brain. I don't know how else her head would have anything to do with the spirit radio or the immortal coil.
Well, cowboy, before you get too crazy, you might want to follow up on a lead I found for you. Called in some favors and found information on a property listed outside the city in Margaret Leonard's name. I thought we could go check it out. Maybe we'll get lucky.
Well, in order for me to get lucky, nothing unlucky has to happen to you, so I'm going by myself.
God, I love your tough guy shtick. You may just get lucky before, during, and after.
A long elevator ride to the surface and make a few calls to get some help. It's a pretty good time to reflect on all that's happened. It's obvious to me that Margaret injected me for a reason. She knew the man I'd become over the last 7 years had become too treacherous to trust anymore, and she was right. That night of the injection, I must have made a deal with the devil to betray her and Mason, and the 50 G's were my 30 pieces of silver. Margaret knew instinctively I was going to betray them, and that's why she broke away earlier. But I think she also knew that the man I was 7 years ago would do the right thing and try to stop the translator. That's why she only erased my memory for the last 7 years. I guess each of us had sins we needed to atone for. Now I've got to find out how all of this is going to play out.
Danwich, what are you doing here?
I put a tracking app on your smart Alex when you let me download that video of Bowers.
Serves me right for trusting a cop. You've been tailing me the whole time?
No, I wanted to trust you, I really did. But you're a suspect in some unsolved cases, and I thought, possibly and quite likely, you'd go back to your old MO at some point. Tex Murphy, you're under arrest.
You're arresting me? For what?
For the murder of Jim Slade and another as yet unidentified male.
I didn't have anything to do with
The bodies were thrown from Coit Tower, and we have witnesses that saw you leave the scene immediately after.
Now, I can explain that.
I understand. Slade was a very bad man, and probably deserved it. But I told you before, I won't tolerate vigilantism.
Lieutenant, wait. I have something for you. Evidence of a mass murder that took place at the Tesla Legacy Society. It's related to at least 3 unsolved disappearances in your jurisdiction.
That's very interesting, and we'll talk about it as soon as I make this arrest.
No, hold on. Slade is the one who led this mass murder.
You have evidence of this?
I've got everything. Eyewitness testimony, sworn affidavits, even security video of the attack. You can resolve a bunch of cases and give closure to the victims' families.
And in exchange for this evidence?
Let Tex go. He's done nothing wrong. If he'd come to you, you wouldn't have been able to do anything. He risked his own life to do the right thing. I think he's a hero.
This is the last exception I make for you.
Well, fine by me. I mean, when am I going to find myself in this situation again?
You get those files to me?
Right away. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Let's do lunch. So, you saved my bacon.
I kind of like your bacon.
Well, I'm just not used to somebody saving me.
But that's what partners do, right? What do you say, cowboy?
Yeah, what do you say? I'd say it's been a while since I saddled up, but I like your form.
I think you'd be impressed with how well I performed down the backstretch.
Well, I must say, you're pretty impressive coming out of the gate.
It all depends on who's in the saddle.
Are we talking about the same thing?
I know what I'm talking about.
Maybe it's not a perfect world, but it's the best I've got. I might have been somebody else over the past 7 years, but I'm ready to leave that behind me. I've been given a second chance and I intend to make the most of it. I sense this is just the beginning of something bigger, and what comes next may not be easy. But then again, what is?